Do I need a permit? That's another question that I often hear from my clients. Hi, my name is Sam. I'm the senior designer at ISD Architects. In this video, I'm going to talk about the answer to the question if you need a permit. You would need a permit under the following conditions, and as I said, those would be part of the complete answer. So please look forward for the part 2 and part 3 of the questions, do I need a permit? So the first thing is when you have a property and it's vacant and you need to construct a building, then yes, you'd need a permit. And the reason I drew that is because sometimes you purchase a property where you have an existing structure, let's say something like that, and then you want to demolish this and build your new structure. In this case, the demolishing of an existing structure requires another permit. So that's why I drew it up, so that I can explain it in a better way. So in order to make it a vacant land, if the land was occupied by an existing structure, you need a demolition permit. For a new structure, you need a construction permit or a building permit. Now, what is the other condition for the requiring a building? It is when you have a structure or a building and you need to add to that building. You can add here, you can add here, or you can add here. And in other videos we covered the question of can I build, and we talked a little bit about the zoning, the zoning information, zoning requirements, and zoning parameters, where you can analyze and calculate how much each of these can be added to your building. So in this case, you would need also a building permit. So doing an addition also requires a building permit. So new construction, sorry, let me write it on this side, might be out of the frame of the video. So new construction, demolition, demo, and addition, add. So these are the most prevalent cases. The other one is, I'm going to zoom into the structure this time. I'm not drawing, or I'm not sketching any site. So I'm sketching the building itself. So let's assume that you have this building and you have rooms here. Probably you have a staircase somewhere here. It doesn't matter. I'm not focusing on the layout as of now. But you have these buildings. I'm sorry, this building is inaccessible, so it has to have an access. So let's say something like that. So it has rooms. And then you bought the property, you bought the house, or you're living in it, and you want to do what the city calls interior alteration. So you agree with your family, or you're an investor and you want to make it look contemporary and attractive, or you have a need, or you're a landlord, you want to change the layout in order to get more tenants, or to make it better, or make it more pleasing, or sometimes you do it for energy saving. So you're doing renovation in order to increase the energy or thermal performance of the building. In all these scenarios, This is called interior alteration. Acronyms, or just a brief. Interior alteration. And interior alteration is when you say, I want to demolish all of these walls and create a nice layout. Maybe you want to keep those, and then you want to create an island kitchen like that, or a reception, and then you want to create something else here. It really doesn't matter, but you want an open plan. So if you remember the layout, it was like that, and probably like this, and you want to remove these walls. This is called interior alteration. Check. It requires a building permit. And the reason why is really simple. It's because you're removing structure, you're removing walls, you're changing the physical and structural aspect of the building. And the city people and the examiners want to know, or want to make sure that it is these additions or these alterations would keep the building intact and safe, structurally sound. So that is the reason why they want to see and they want to approve your alteration. Some people, don't get me wrong, some people do it without the knowledge of the city, but I should really give them a piece of warning in the sense that if they are jeopardizing the structural integrity of the building, then it could expose their residents or the end users of their buildings into the risks of the roof collapsing or whatever structural impact that it will have, having done this on your own without the consultation of the structural engineer or without the inspection of the city. Because there are other hazards in addition to the structural integrity of the building, which is the fire resistant or fire fighting inside the spaces. So if this is an assembly, let's assume this is not a house, it could be a commercial building, and then a small commercial, and then you wanted to turn this into a restaurant. So probably people will enter here, they would have a reception here, and there are tables here. Probably small restaurant. Then a little partition here. And then you said, I don't want to do a building permit. Then there are conditions. There are conditions when you do an alteration. This is called change of use sometimes. If you're changing from residential to commercial, vice versa, or commercial of certain type or use to another type of use, then it's not only structural integrity, meaning you didn't only lose some supports and you have to replace them with something, probably a column somewhere here. Maybe you want to have a column here to support the old structure. But also, these people need to be evacuated should there be a fire caused by probably a fire coming from the kitchen, if this was the kitchen. So these people would need not only to use this exit, but also to use another exit in order to create a balance. And there are calculations in the building code that tells you how much. And there'd also be washroom requirements and so on and so forth. So in the interior alteration, you'd also need a building permit. Now, the last item in this video, I'm going to talk about the addition. So I'll go back to the site plan. So let's assume that you have a house here. Okay, probably a driveway with a car. and then you have backyard. This is a house. Now, you wanted to add something here. A shed, for example, to store your tools in it. Then if that shed is over equal or over 108 square feet, and for the metric people it's 10 square meter or 108 square feet. If it's equal or above over that size, this shed, you need a permit, because this would be considered as part, like an addition. It will be considered like an addition. Now there is a notion. If this is not located here, and it's located here. Oh, by the way, this is called accessory building. Accessory building. So if this accessory building, let's say it's just a storage, then this does not apply anymore. Whatever size, if it's attached, then you need a permit. So I'm gonna stop here. These are the conditions. Now let's review. You need a permit if you're building a new structure, a new building. You need a permit when you're doing a demolition of a structure. You need a permit when you're doing an addition. You need a permit when you're doing an interior alteration, and you need a permit when you're building an accessory building that is either one, detached, or if it's attached, then any size would require a building permit as long as it's attached to the existing structure. So I hope you find this video useful. In the next video, I'm going to talk about the other conditions where you need a permit, so stay tuned. And if you have any concerns, or if you didn't understand any of these points, then please comment and I will reply to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.